sure.
Okay.
Okay, here
now
we go.
We're good to go.
All
Ready?
right.
3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Let's go. And obviously, you know, we've got a lot of fan favorites here. Fractal and Scuti have become very, very popular within the community here. So you see a lot of people rooting for them. And you saw that right there. Simul Tetris is for Scuti and Fractal, even though they're not going up against each other, but still. And as a reminder, yes, everybody gets the same pieces. So
they suffer the same.
Exactly.
But on the bright side, I do see long bars, so that means our little draw from our Tetris gummies didn't impact them this game.
And you know, I always joke, you know, well, not even joke. I kind of genuinely believe this, you know, that you know, obviously R.I.P. to Jonas, but you know, he's basically taken over for the, you know, the pieces that we get, the RNG. So a lot of times, you know, he's like, this is what I had to deal with in the past. So sometimes he'll give us those droughts, you know, just to troll us again, because we know how much he loved to troll people. So shout outs once again to Jonas. Without him, I mean, we wouldn't have gotten to this point at all. One of the best ambassadors we've ever had for Tetris.
So right now, all players have been getting stacking underway. Wallbant is actually taking a pretty decent lead over Fractal.
Yeah, Fractal's been doing this dig for quite some time now.
He's kind of looking for certain pieces to go for a particular solve, and the piece sequences just weren't accommodating of what he wanted to do.
Oh, whoops.
A small little misdrop.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. It's not obviously, you know, an ending, you know, a game-ending kind of misdrop right there, as you can see clean right there. But that does mean he's at a 48% Tetris rate, but it's still early, so he can definitely get that rate much higher here early on.
And we do got to remember, too, that this is Scuti and Fractal's first time playing in a match today. They were in that top 16 seed, so both of them have a bye. Opaux and Wallbant have already endured one battle so far.
Yeah, and judging by the seed for Opaux, I'm pretty sure he upset the person that he fought against.
Redshirt.
Oh, it was Redshirt. Okay, okay.
Both Opaux and Wallbant went to deciders in their matches. Opaux won up against Redshirt, and Wallbant won up against Jerpy, which if you remember last year, Jerpy and Dog had an insane set that I just know was burned in my mind just because of like how ridiculous some of the stuff that was being pulled off, and it was.
That was unfortunate for Opaux right there. Had the eyepiece to drop the side, but it was just set up in a way that it was a triple, but he did get a Tetris now, and he's going to see if he can get a Tetris here before he completely starts to try to burn down to uncover that little too tall gap right there. Oh, actually, no. He could have started burning through there, but he's going to go for another Tetris. You know, I mean, like I said earlier, right?
Ooh, going for the S-flat. Nice.
Yeah, if you know you're going up against someone like Scuti, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to take these risks because I know how good they are, and I know I have to keep up with them. And yeah, so here we go. Finally gets the burn down. He's back to a neutral board. Beautifully done. Opaux right back into a comfortable place.
Yeah, only down by half a Tetris up against Scuti. We're down at the bottom. Wallbant has taken a 100,000 point lead. Fractal has just kind of been struggling to get something going together.
Well, that's a nice Tetris for him, while Wallbant right now with a really, really kind of a chaotic board. Trying to figure out, oh, that was such a beautiful setup for that little tuck for the Z piece.
Yeah, the Z spin.
Yeah, so nice.
And let's see, does he commit to this? And it looks like Wallbant is going to try to commit.
Oh, no. Okay, just burns right through there.
Ooh, actually, and then that skim, and then the Tetris, and that opens up the hole down at the bottom. You literally couldn't have asked for a better piece sequence there.
Yep.
That was flawless.
Well done by Wallbant right there. And yeah, you can see the smile on his face. He's like, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that was exactly what I wanted.
It's a great feeling when it happens that way. You know, it really does. You're just like, okay, cool, let's go. And you know, honestly, it feels like you get rewarded for a lot of the piece placement that you've been, you know, setting up when you get the good RNG like that. Fractal still, I mean, we saw him get his board all the way down. Oh.
Another misdrop. Fractal, once again, just... This misdrop actually is still workable, though.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh.
That is not a wide enough gap. Can't slide underneath that, so it's going to have to burn it out.
But the beautiful thing is now when he does this, it's still set up for Tetrises. So he was planning ahead like that. And look at this, the back-to-back eyepieces. And there we go, back down to a very clean neutral board here.
And just in time for the level 19 transition, because Fractal will transition in one line. Nice adjustments.
And he's going to try to transition with the Tetris. And there it is. There we go. Here we go.
487 transition for Fractal. 566 transition for Opaux, roughly. 674 from Scuti. Whoa. And a 543 from Wallbant.
I mean, Scuti is still at an 88% Tetris rate at the transition period. That's incredible.
And a 560 over there by Opaux is not a bad transition by any means. It's just, man, this is a scary batch of players. And both players at the bottom actually experiencing a little bit of issues here. Fractal has cleaned up the board. Wallbant brings the board down back into a workable board.
And we saw Fractal right there. Again, one of those risk assessments.
Oh, another misdrop.
We've seen a lot of misdrops.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Great resolution, though.
Bro. Sometimes.
See, that was so good. You just had to say, bro.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You just had to take it in for a second.
There's just sometimes where, you know, when you're not seeing what they're seeing, and they put these pieces and you're like, what are they? And then it just all of a sudden magically becomes like the most beautiful board you've ever seen. You're just like, man. And for anyone with like OCD or whatever like that, it is just one of the most satisfying feelings.
And I know this is a satisfying feeling for Scuti right now. 873 in a level 23. A over 100,000 point lead. We're looking at a potential level 24 max out.
Wow. Look at that, 902 already. Only at level 23.
And down at the bottom, Fractal is caught back up to Wallbant, so now they are in neck-and-neck territory, separated by under a Tetris.
But a couple of unfortunate pieces right now. For Fractal, nice, got that piece all the way to the side. He's gonna burn. Yep, and now he just needs something in column 9. That's the question, can he get something over there? He's just gonna have to drop an eyepiece over there. And he's rewarded with another eyepiece. Boom, Tetris for Fractal. Doesn't like the dependency on the J piece that he gave himself there, but it works itself out in another Tetris for Fractal.
There it is, max out for Scuti.
Level 25.
Level 25, and potentially setting up for the row 2. Looking for a good piece to skim.
Yeah, there it is, right there. So he's set up, and boom, Tetris for Scuti, and I almost feel like he's just gonna keep maintaining. No, okay.
Actually,
okay.
that's gonna be perfect, because if he gets the log bar, then he'll be able to get a well transfer.
But
holding out for it, and there it is.
Yeah.
And Opaux now a couple thousand points shy of a max out of his own.
Wow, could be one of those rare situations where we might get 4 max outs on the screen at one time, and there it is, a max out for Opaux.
Scuti already with the 1.1, knocks down another Tetris, set up for another. And it's just clean. I don't feel like Scuti's playing aggressive. That's the craziest thing. It just feels like he's playing incredibly clean.
Yeah. So it's like another day at the office for him right now. But I mean, look at Wallbant right there, about to get the max out himself.
And there it is, max out for Wallbant. Fractal goes into 29 with 986, and is now looking to try and get the board under control. Scuti goes into 29, a little bit uncomfortable as well, but he's, oh my gosh, that is so efficient. Opaux goes into 29, able to survive as well.
Wow, and perfect for that.
And Fractal on the verge of topping out, hex a piece over to the right, and Fractal tops out. Wallbant is good for game number 1, so our attention focuses up top at game 1 for Opaux and Scuti.
Wow.
Scuti almost with a 200,000 point lead. Opaux now getting set up for a Tetris. There's a Tetris for Scuti. There's a Tetris for Opaux.
Yeah, but again, the Tetris lead for Scuti right now. You see a 5 Tetris lead.
Ooh, nice tuck over there for Opaux. Follows it up with a Tetris. Expert maneuverability, but Scuti answers back with one of his own. And he's going to go for the triple.
Yeah, just go for the
Opaux
triple. Right
knocks
there.
down a Tetris, but now the board's not in a Tetris scoring position, so he has to bring it down.
Oh, but look at that RNG that he got there. That was beautiful.
Nice.
Although he did give himself a little bit of an eyepiece dependency. Yeah, you can see not going to risk anything too crazy over
It's
here.
another Tetris for Scuti. Scuti's at 1.5 million at level 33. We're about to see a rollover potentially in level 34. But that's perfect.
Oh
my gosh, a level 34 rollover. What is happening? Another one. Our games are getting started at the bottom. Opox is playing great. Scuti,
remember, Alex just got the third highest score. Scuti might.
Okay, but hold on. We're running into some issues. So we are experiencing a slowdown. There's an eyepiece dependency.
Okay.
And now Opox is actually utilizing this opportunity to start fighting back a little, or as much as he can when being down by, 200,000.
Right.
Scuti opens up the well. Opox now starting to build a little bit momentum, down by 156,000.
Oh, look at that. Scuti opened up the
and there it is, Tetris for Scuti, 1.7.
Ooh.
Opox is going to have to go for row 2. Another one for Scuti. At this point, we might be looking. I think that was the dagger. 1.8.
Yes,
what is happening?
A new record here.
Oh my God! He could get another one.
And even he can't believe it.
1.8. And wait, no way. Is he going to do it? He's almost to level 40. Opox, hold on. Opox with the rollover too.
Wow, he got to level 39. He has 1.634, and yet he is 5 Tetrises behind in that match. And you saw how they just gave each other the hug, because how do you even be mad about that? Like, it's impossible.
It's the same situation as us versus Alex T, but Scuti just set the highest score that we've seen under this.
1.882 million points.
Double super kill screen. Opox got a rollover and lost by almost 250,000.
And that is now officially the record. So Alex T just set the third highest. No, he just set the fourth highest, because now Scuti stands alone as the record holder for most points in a super kill screen era CTWC match. Actually, that's a great point. This is gotta in terms of combined score.
Yeah, combined score. That we're talking about that is 3.5 million combined, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
over
3.5 million combined. 3.5 million combined between two players.
And
you lose with a 1.6.
You know what, the thing that scares me the most right now is that I don't know if we're done yet. I feel like this weekend we could get something higher than that as a total score. Oh man.
To put in perspective, Scuti transitioned with a 670. He went into 29 with, I believe, a 1.2. So he scored 600,000 points post 29.
Right.
What? Oh, misdrop over there from Fractal. While we're sitting over here enamoring about the sheer insanity that was on display, Fractal was in danger.
He's an eyepiece. Where's the?
Okay, there's the double. Nice burn. Great burn. It's going to help Fractal stay alive.
Yeah. All that timing right there. Very, very fortunate. That eyepiece is going to be perfect for the Z piece. There we go. And so Fractal just needs to get something off to the column 9 and 10. And there it is. Oh, beautiful micro adjustment.
Right.
So he's back to a situation, and boom, Tetris for Fractal. Well done. But
I still am trying to just come to terms with the fact that game just happened in round 1. Round 1, James Chen.
Hey, you know what? That's why that kid has a documentary about him. Oh, man. All right. So, again, Wallbant and Fractal going here. Even though we saw a couple of those misdrops from Fractal, he's still at a 79%. So he's still doing really, really well over here. But I do feel like we have seen a lot more kind of almost uncharacteristic misdrops from Fractal today.
Yeah, and maybe it does come with the fact that maybe he's just not warmed up yet. Because remember, this is his first match of the day.
Right.
He's playing up against an opponent that had already gone through a battle-hardened veteran, Sharky.
And honestly, that's the thing. So a lot of the players here right now are, they're definitely cheering for Wallbant because, if you give Fractal a chance to warm up and he starts feeling comfortable again, I mean, he is clearly, obviously, a very dangerous player. And so a lot of people are like, you know what, if he's kind of warming up right now, take him out now.
You know, and one of the chatters actually brought up a good point. Like, imagine telling people 5 years ago that the 12th seed and the 44th seed got a combined 3.5 million, and that it went to super kill screen and one of them lost with a 1.6.
Right, and their response would be, super kill screen? What is that? Oh, man.
Truly just unprecedented levels of skill on display, as both our players at the bottom have reached transition. 538 for Wallbant, a 618 for Fractal. So despite all those misdrops that, you know, we were talking about, he still is able to find efficiency throughout it all, enough to get a 600K transition.
Yeah, again, I mean, 78% Tetris rate right now, so he is doing wonderful right now. But Scuti, see, this is kind of a match right now that I feel like Opaux has really got to take advantage of right now, because we do have Scuti starting at a lower Tetris rate, but actually they've already gotten it all the way back up to 67 here. So let's see if they can keep raising that. But you know, obviously an 18-piece drought is a little annoying, but nothing too bad, especially here at 18 speed.
Yeah, and that's one of the more annoying things whenever you're going up against an opponent. You're like, oh yes, they're in the dig. I can use this opportunity to, you know, chase down or extend my lead. And then you run into a drought, so them being in a dig, all of a sudden it doesn't matter, because you're not going to get that eyepiece to score to really propel yourself forward.
So while they're digging and using, you know, the non-eyepieces, yeah, you're just nullified on your setup over there. Okay.
But
so
still,
Fractal again, still at a 78% rate over here. Gonna go for the Tetris. Doesn't fill out that column 2.
It's gonna hold out for that J piece.
Yeah, beautifully done. But still can't put the eyepiece over there because didn't quite have the setup ready for it. And now a little bit of the awkward RG,
look at that split double
double
into a Tetris. Beautifully done. 910 for Fractal, 832 for Wallbant. Wallbant down by just under 2 Tetrises currently.
I say this every year, so this is my one time today, but like split burns are like one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just so satisfying. All right, and there it is, Tetris for Fractal. But, you know, Wallbant is, you know, keeping pace here, and that's the important thing right now. Especially like we're saying, you know, today we've seen some uncharacteristics, misdrops, misplacements from Fractal. So, you know, Wallbant can't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to push myself. You know, if he can play consistent and keep this up. I mean, still getting Tetris. I mean, we talked about the 78, 77%.
Oh, another misdrop over there for Fractal.
See? And we talked about the Tetris rate, but Wallbant's at 70% Tetris rate.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
And that misdrop actually followed after Fractal did a placement that he later disagreed with. You saw the head shake. He's like, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that brief disruption of rhythm is like, oh wait, I didn't like what I did, could end up, you know, causing misdrops. Both players at the bottom have maxed.
Yeah, and just a kind of an unfortunate situation for Opaux right there. Did definitely try to be a little risk averse and, you know, tried to play it safe, but even the play it safe route that he went
several
did
misdrops
not work
firing
out.
in the center over there for Wallbant.
Oh, right.
As both players now reach 29, 1.16 to 1.12.
We're at the thrill screen. It looks like Fractal's going for the dirty Tetris here to get to level 30. So, yeah.
And
Fractal.
then Wallbant, okay, those are, going for the flat eye burn there. Interesting. And the hang on the left.
Can he get an eyepiece over there to the side? Oh, he tried to do some cleaning here. No, that's going to be it right there. And Fractal's going to be able to take game number 2 to tie this one up at 1-1. But, you know, obviously you can keep playing a little bit just to make sure that you're warmed up. And we talked about this, right? That Fractal, okay, yeah, he got that Tetris. That's good enough for him now. So they're going to be jumping into game number 3 here.
And you see that after that game, they're just both all smiles.
Yeah. It's one of the nicest things about playing, you know, at CTWC. I've had my, you know, friends in the FGC. They're like, wow, everybody's so happy. They're always like shaking hands and hugging and stuff like that. When you're not playing directly against each other, you know, a lot of times, you know, that can happen. You know, if your opponent plays a great game, like you can't, like there's no point at which you can be like, that's unfair, or like, you know, how dare you, kind of a thing. So.
How dare you get a 1.8 on me in our first game?
Right, exactly.
576 transition for Scuti, 507 transition for Opaux. So down by 3 Tetrises upon transitioning as our players down at the bottom get started.
All right. And Fractal Wallbant starting game number 3. This is, you know, the proverbial rubber band match over here. Who's going to take the 2-1 lead?
Oh, camera focusing on Opaux's glasses that have been taken off on the floor. There we go. See the rolling in action, the preciseness of the technique.
And we've got almost like kind of like a triple eyepiece dependency right there for Wallbant, but now, oh boy, okay. Where's the L's and the J's? Where were they? It's like, come on, man.
Those STs were just not great.
Yeah. And look at this. He still keeps getting forced into these eyepiece dependencies. Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah,
right
Fractal
there.
having to do some burning too throughout this as well. So the sequence is genuinely rough. When you see one player in trouble, you could be like, okay, maybe it was their fault. When you see both players in trouble, the pieces might have something to do with that.
Yeah. A nice tuck right there. Now Fractal needs it. Yeah, he's gonna burn through it because he needed a place to put that O piece. So that's why he decided to go for that burn. Originally, he was planning not to. And there we go, boom, Tetris for Fractal, but he's still got that unfortunate gap there, but the J piece is gonna cover it just in time for another Tetris right there. Wallbant's gonna get a Tetris himself.
Yeah, speaking of, you know, Tetris is up top, the lead hasn't changed. That means it hasn't grown nor has it decreased. These players have been keeping up with each other in post-transition, almost Tetris per Tetris.
All right, needs to do a little bit of extra burning here. T-piece is
Oh, that adjustment
beautiful.
from Scuti. Amazing. We are looking at a level 26 max. Not a max into 26, but a max at some point throughout. Another Tetris for Opaux.
I mean, again, Opaux, you know, defeating the higher seed earlier and then just had that amazing game against Scuti. How is he seeded number 44? You know?
I mean, Opaux he's part of the class of what I like to call, you know, neo-veterans. We're not like the Svabar, the Jeffs, the older players, but we're still, you know, before the Scutis.
Right,
so,
right. It's the older, younger players is what I call them.
I think neo-veteran sounds cooler.
Yeah, no, that's good, that's good.
But we are going to be heading into level 29 with this duo here shortly. 1.1 million for Blue Scuti.
Look at this board right now for Wallbant. Yeah, he can't. Actually, that was kind of neat right there. I mean, if he gets an eyepiece, it will be. Wow. Okay. See, that's what I mean by sometimes.
29 for both players. Opaux has the max. Scuti with a 1.1.
The drought for Wallbant causing us some problems. But yeah, up on top, we are on the thrill screen here again.
Opaux still having to do some burns. There haven't been Tetrises flashing just yet.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, Scuti just going to go for the burns. Neither player have been able to kind of find a stack that they're comfortable with building up. But it looks like Scuti might be in that position soon as Opaux, nice flat burns.
Wow. But
he
needs
3 Ts in a row.
Yeah, he needs, and the one time he needed something that was a double flat at the bottom, you know? But look at that, look at the clean. Look at the clean. Yes. And he, oh man.
Opaux is back into a more survivable position. Scuti is set up for a center wall here in column 3.
Oh, look at this. And
nice burn into a Tetris.
And the Tetris for Opaux as well.
That 3 to 4 Tetris range that they've been separated by has been upheld even here in the level 29 speeds. As there's another Tetris for Opaux. And a Tetris for Scuti, a Tetris for Opaux.
Yeah. Look at this, Opaux keeping up. Couldn't get the O piece.
Needs to hit the 5 tap. Very crucially done.
That's so hard. Oh.
Scuti is Tetris ready, goes for the triple, so that brings him out of Tetris ready, but brings the stack back into a safer pasture. Another Tetris for Scuti, a Tetris for Opox.
Oh,
They're still separated by by just about 4 Tetrises, though.
Yeah, and that wasn't a misdrop right there from Opox.
Oh,
that was a misdrop right there.
Opox going to top out at almost 1.3. Scuti takes game number 2.
Yeah, so, you know, we talked about how things can cascade, right? So the RNG wouldn't give him the pieces with the right parity to fill out the column that he had. And so it did create a gap, but then that's what led to that misdrop a little bit later on. So just like, you know, 2 seconds later. So it's an unfortunate situation there. But if you're Opox, though, like...
Scuti just mulling. Wait.
Uh-oh.
He's going to get another high score here.
You're right. Oh, boy.
A 1.769. What did Alex C get earlier?
He had a 1...
Wasn't it 1.768? I'm pretty sure it was a 1.76,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
So Scuti just said...
Dude, look at...
Right?
I mean,
what do you do?
Yeah,
what can you do?
Just like smiling, nodding, and shaking his head.
It's
you know,
just
alternate, because you're like, yeah, well done, but man, what can I do?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So Scuti now has accomplished at least the number 1 and at least like the number 4 highest scores in just this set. In those 2 games. He has 2 games in a row with the super kill screen era, and he has like 3.5 million by himself in 2 games,
yeah,
right?
Imagine almost averaging a 1.8 in a round 1 match, by the way.
What the heck?
As the 12th seed.
What the heck? Oh, man.
Our players down at the bottom have entered level 21 Fractal with a almost 300,000 point lead over Wallbant. Wallbant had a very suffer 18.
All right, yep, clean out just in time for that eyepiece, and boom, Tetris for Wallbant. Again, both players Tetris ready, and there's a Tetris right there, but as you can see right now, you see the grimace right there from Fractal, because, beautiful micro adjustment to get that dirty Tetris.
Nice adjustments, too. And actually didn't want to use that J piece because he didn't want to create an eyepiece dependency. So still was able to utilize a long bar for a Tetris, just not the earliest convenience, but still was able to maintain a healthy stack.
Oh, very fortunate that he got an L/J right there when he built that well. And Fractal seemingly looks like he's a bit more, consistent with the Fractals that we've seen from the past few years. But Wallbant is, he's playing really strong as well. But as you can see right now, 50% Tetris rate versus 80% Tetris rate. This is one of those situations where obviously you can play strong and do well, but you are hoping that there will be some misdrops for Fractal here.
And this drought is definitely not doing either player any favors, and neither could utilize the long bar for a Tetris.
Well, Fractal did manage to get one right there. He still doesn't have necessarily the cleanest board, and yeah, he just nods like he's like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go for some crazy dirty Tetris. Let's just clean this board up here. And there it is. He's got a nice board now. Just needs to get set up for a Tetris, and there it is. Meanwhile, Wallbant slamming down a Tetris of his own. Doesn't use the T-piece for the skims on the side over there.
I think that's also one of the good things of us having like a 3-phase game, the 18, the post 19, and the post 29. Yeah. Because anything could happen in that post 29, as we've seen today already. And so all it takes is just for one misdrop to spiral things out of control, and then now all of a sudden it's not Wallbant. Wallbant is chasing an active opponent. He's chasing a score. Right. That could happen, but as Wallbant, you're going to want to try and play your best because you can't bank on it to happen.
Oh boy.
And these are these pieces are awful.
Dude, where's the L's and the J's? Where?
Only 3 lines left to the transition, and up this high.
Oh, come on.
And yeah, that is looking to be fatal. Wallbant gonna top out at 892. Fractal with a 1.2 is good for game number 3.
I feel like, because like interesting, when Wallbant had that one piece where he just kind of dropped it in the middle, I thought that previous piece was going to clear a line, and I wonder if he was thinking the same, because it didn't. And when that happens, you're like, wait, the next piece is, oh no.
Yeah, ghost burns are terrifying.
Yeah.
But
a lot of times when you think a line is clearing and it doesn't, you're just like, what even happened?
right now, I think Opaux is currently 3 burns. That's it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 95% Tetris rate right now. Boom, Tetris for Opaux.
Opaux is like, all right, Scuti, you outshone me in games 1 and 2. It's time to push you a bit myself.
I mean,
And the crazy thing is, Scuti is not behind by too much, only by 2 Tetrises.
now, I mean, I really, really hope right now that like Opaux can keep up the pace that he's been playing, because it's just going to be like, while Scuti is setting records for all these, highest scores and stuff like that, I feel like Opaux could almost, and I don't even know if they've been keeping track of this stat. I don't even know if this is possible to calculate, but he might have the record for the, he could have put the double eyepieces over there. He might have the record for the highest score total for losing matches, for losing a set.
It is possible, even through just it being 3 games.
Right.
If it was for a 3-0 loss. Because, I mean, already for, 2 games, having a near 3 million out of 2 games.
Right.
And that's what you lost with.
There has to be some kind of record, another record.
Yeah, all of our players are here on level 18, and we are running into a drought up top. And 3 eyepieces Opaux couldn't use. Okay, Scuti was able to use one of them.
Yeah, that exact same scenario right there. But Opaux successfully does get himself set up.
You could just feel the hurt after every single eyepiece came. It's like, not that one.
Yeah.
Oh, not that one either.
And then there was a little bit of that S piece, an S burst right there for Opaux, but he's got it managed here. Now, he can play this way. He can stay with the left side Tetris. They're just not giving him the pieces that he needs. I mean, honestly, a lot of times, we sit here commentating this, but sometimes you just got to acknowledge, just like, wow, what are these pieces? Yeah, he needs he's double eyepiece dependent right now. Okay, finally gets one. And he's just going to drop the O piece in there. And yeah, you can see right now, he's just like,
good burns. I'm
just burning through there. And that was beautiful right there.
And
well played by Opaux.
He didn't adjust for the Tetris. You can see he's happy by, he's clean, but he's not happy by the fact that he missed the Tetris and he knew it. But here it is, level 19 transition. 563 for Opaux, 577 for Scuti.
Meanwhile, look at this. Fractal and Wallbant, obviously they're only at about 50 lines, but both of them are at above 80% Tetris rate right now. So both of them playing really well. And as you mentioned, probably also means that they've been both getting really, just a good piece sequence, a very versatile piece sequence.
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of eyepieces in there.
Mm-hmm. And right now, Fractal's trying to find something to tuck in there, but they hadn't given him one until that one finally. And now finally gets an eyepiece. How much is Fractal gonna risk? Okay, finally just goes for a burn right there. Meanwhile, up at the top, both players already past the transition. And Opaux trying to get through this, but the pieces, okay. Oh, and a beautiful O piece right there. Okay, and look at that. 2 Tetrises just like that. Well played by Opaux. And look at it, both of them at 70% Tetris rates, so that's why the score barely separated by less than 2,000 points right now.
Yep. Both players are Tetris ready, and it looks like that counter is ticking red, so you know what that means.
Yeah.
Another drought.
Yep.
And
oh, man.
Both players do manage to score off of that drought.
Yeah, both the players, you can see, not even, in score and everything, very neck and neck right now. In pace, in score. Scuti decides to set up a potential burn there. Needs an eyepiece, but again, this is the second drought we've seen in such a short amount of time. But look at that beautiful placement for Scuti right there. Almost as if there was no issues at all. Oh, great pieces for Opaux right now. Oh, does risk that, yes. Oh.
Nice, opens up the wheel of Tetris for Opaux. 925 to 929. 4,000 points, not even. And there's the Tetris for Scuti.
And Wallbant in a situation right now where he has just been cleaning for a while right now. Again, just the pieces are not coming in a way that they are going to work out for him particularly well. And he still has that row one hold down there. So the question is Wallbant just going to go for the triple? He does. And so now, do you just maintain this row one Tetris? Yeah. So he's going for the row one, and that is going to open up the hold there at the bottom column there. So, but still,
Opaux, hold on. This left side for Opaux is dangerous. This could be in that. It's going to be a top out for Opaux, but hold on. Opaux topped out with the lead, so Scuti has to chase this down.
Yep.
1,139,000 is Scuti's target.
I mean, the question right now, honestly, is if Scuti does make this chase down, does he just keep going mulligan kind of thing? Because he could set the record for the highest, like, 3 points, and he does it right there. He wins that, and nope, he's just gonna, well, he's done. Because I mean, honestly, like, if he just was like, let's just see if I can get the highest 3-game score.
Yeah, he totally could have.
Yeah, and one that, like, is almost like virtually impossible to beat, honestly. So, oh, wait, did we get, all right. But yeah, so Wallbant and Fractal still going at it right now. All right. See Fractal glancing over at Wallbant's screen over there. Obviously, that's what you see a lot of the players do a lot of the times. Just continually looking over just to see where their opponent is at.
And Wallbant with a couple of fatal hangs over there on the right is going to top out at 7:15. Fractal, your former world champion, advances to top 16 once again.
Yep, so there we go. Really, really well played by Wallbant there, taking game number 1. But unfortunately, Fractal, like we said, you don't want to let this guy catch his groove.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened at the end.
Look at
over
this
there.
shot of Blue Scuti, though.
Man.
That's such a good shot.
Who knew that it would picking up that the jacket would result in Blue Scuti just styling his way into being one of the strongest Tetris players ever. So Fractal and Blue Scuti have moved on, and like I said, 2 of the fan favorites, and probably not a surprise that it is these 2 that did move on.